Today we're going to look at how to remove fluoride the spiritual way. Hi, I'm Patrick Durkin from the Wellness Enterprise, the creator of Water Magic 101. And today we're going to talk about a topic that comes up over and over and over again, which is removing fluoride. It's really interesting that everybody asks the same question the same way. They say, how do I remove fluoride from my water? And it's even more interesting that fluoride is actually intentionally put in water. It's not an environmental pollutant. It's something that's put in by the water company. So we have water companies who are supposed to have our best interests at heart, putting fluoride in water, and then we have people wanting to get the fluoride out of water. And the way the people speak about it is they all want to remove it. I learned this when I started this business, and people started calling me from all over the world, and they said, I want to remove fluoride from my water. I want to remove chlorine. I want to remove. And after talking to thousands of people from all over the planet and seeing that they speak the same way, I started to question, why do they speak the same way? We have to look at that before I can answer your question about the best way to actually not remove fluoride from your water, but transform the fluoride in the water and have fluoride be no threat to you whatsoever. If you choose to remove it after this discussion, that's fine, but I think you might find that you don't need to. Okay, so let's begin by looking at the paradigm that we're living in. The majority of us go to school, and then as adults, we consume a lot of media. So there are two primary channels where information is driven into our brains. And in school, we're not taught to create the best us. We're not taught to celebrate our individuality, to know ourselves as physical and spiritual beings. We are taught to regurgitate information, to defer our power to supposed experts, to essentially live lives where we are part of a workforce that follows rules and stays in alignment. And then when we leave school, there's this voice called the media. And I mean, have you ever noticed what shows up in the media? Like they lead the nightly news, or they put on the top of the internet page of your favorite local newspaper or wherever you go to get information, information about murder and rape and fires and all these things that create fear. And we think to ourselves, well, I'm not interested in that. And yet we still consume the information. And that activates a part of our brain that is controlled by fear. And it makes it really easy to keep us from knowing our truth, from knowing who we really are. So these two channels, the education system and the media, cause most people to think the same way. And that became really obvious as I started talking to people on different continents, and yet they literally use the same words to express their concerns about water. What everybody wants to do is remove, and then you can fill in the blank with whatever toxin, but the most common one is fluoride. So I'm focusing the video on fluoride. In fact, one of our community members asked me to make this video, and so here we are. If you have a video that you want us to make, just put a comment below the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified of more videos. But if you put a comment below and just ask us to create a video explaining a concept or commenting on something, we would be very happy to do that for you. Okay, so everybody's wired to show up and ask about removal. Now let's look at what fluoride removal supports in terms of commerce. It supports businesses that sell water filters that have replacement parts and perpetual income. So you get educated to want to remove things, and then your desire to remove them causes you to buy a product that offers the promise of making your water safe by giving the illusion that it is removing the toxin that you're concerned about from your water. The reality is, if you get the lab testing and you study traditional water filters, which I'm going to refer to as chemistry-based filters, because that's the science that's used with the word removal. When we talk about removing, we're using chemistry to remove. And the majority of, I'm just going to make myself a little note here about a concept I want to weave into the video as we go. The majority of water filters that are out there, when they remove it all, they remove from about 40% to 90% of the fluoride that's in water. So even good ones, maybe 95% or even 99%, are still leaving the some amount of trace fluoride in water. So it's actually, when you get a filter, you're diminishing the concentration, but you're not actually removing it. So now I just want to have like a spiritual comment about removal. So it's my belief that we're going through an ascension process, that we have senses beyond our knowing. Like, for example, my third eye has opened up in the last couple of years. I experience infinite creativity now. I used to think my creativity was like in a little box and my life was pretty limited. So I think we're changing a lot, and I think there's a multi-dimensional way of living that's available to us now. And, you know, I think about concepts like oneness and love, and when I think about the word remove, it's in conflict with the ideas that I have about oneness and love. Like, how can I remove anything from anywhere if I'm everything and part of all that is? There is no other thing. There is no over there. There is no separation. There's just one. There's just this benevolent universe that we live in which we're in our earth school to learn and expand our consciousness. And inside of that, there's no such thing as a threat. There's just opportunities to expand our awareness. But the truth is, I'm an eternal being. And as I identify myself as such, I can't align with the concept of removal. So now getting back on track to the chemistry, if you buy a water filter and it removes 90% of the fluoride, you probably paid good money for it. And it will do that for a certain period of time, and there will still be 10% left. So you're not actually removing fluoride when you have the promise of removal from a chemistry-based filter. But there's another concept that we have to bring in here that is really important, which is that everything is energy. And if we look at the concept of homeopathy, homeopathy is really not spoken of too much in the United States, or it is downgraded to that which is used by skeptics and things like that, because what homeopathy is water. They take a physical substance, they put it in water, they succuss it or shake it 100 times, and that's 1x on a homeopathic. So you'll see homeopathics are 10x, 20x, 100x, 200x, and each x is 100 shakes and a dilution. So by the time you get to 2,600 shakes or 26x on a homeopathic, the physical substance that was there at the beginning is gone. It's not there anymore. It's just the energy of it that's left. So it has, through all the dilution and the succussing, essentially been removed from the physical water. And that's what homeopathics are. And so we have thousands of doctors in Europe who are using homeopathic remedies, and you know, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people worldwide who are using these homeopathic remedies for various aspects of health and well-being. And yet all that's actually in them is water. So if we apply that concept to the fluoride, if the energy of a physical substance is still in a homeopathic after 100% of the physical substance has been removed, then the energy of fluoride is still in your water, even if you remove 90, 95, 98, 99, even 100% of it. So now the question is, if there's this energy that manifests in the world as the frequency of fluoride, how do you make your water safe from fluoride? Because isn't that what we really want? We want to know that we're safe. And so for me, the first thing is to see this issue as it was an opportunity to understand the physics of water and not just the chemistry of water. If you're new to the physics of water, and you might be new to my videos, this is Sandy. This is Sandy's first time appearing in one of our videos. Sandy's a lovely fountain created by the sculptor Bud Bottoms. And you might notice that I've taken one of our water structuring devices. That right there is the Javara Maximus. I don't know how well it'll come through in the video, but you can see the sacred spiral there, and there's a bunch of gemstones in there. And I've decided to let Sandy's water flow right through the Maximus and kind of make this beautiful babbling brook type sound while I create videos and while I work throughout my day. So what's happening right there is Sandy is passing his water through a water structuring device. He's not using chemistry. There's nothing being removed. In fact, the water that Sandy's got has fluoride in it. And that fluoride is being transformed. It's not being removed. So what we are standing for at the Wellness Enterprise is the transformation of not just fluoride, but every frequency that you consider a threat to you is an illusion. You're really an eternal being. And fluoride is no different than that. So when the water passes through the structuring device, what actually happens is the way the hydrogen and oxygen are bonded together changes. It's called a hydrogen bonding angle. And it's been tested at the Hagales AG laboratory in Germany. And what they've shown is that when you change these hydrogen bonding angles, you change the properties of the water. You actually cause the water to render all toxins neutralized. So that's what we're doing with the physics of structured water, is we are transforming fluoride and anything else. And anything else can mean a toxin that's in the water, like fluoride or chlorine, or it can mean anything else in your life. We are transforming, we are transmuting these experiences from painful, fear-based hurts to experiences that are part of the weaving of the rug that we are. Like if I look at my life like a tapestry, learning about the energy of fluoride and how it can be transformed has been an experience that has expanded my consciousness and helped me see that nothing is a threat to me. So one of the things I would like to share with you is that when I started to study the physics of water, structured water, energized water, activated water, it's all the same thing. Easy water, fourth phase water, exclusion zone water. It's all the same thing. And I studied it for a while, and I came to understand that everything is energy. And as I've come to understand that everything is energy, I've come to be able to overcome these experiences. And one of the things that's helped me the most is the way my third eye has opened in this process. At the beginning of the process, I did not know what a third eye was. And I didn't know what a pineal gland was. I didn't know about calcification of the pineal gland from fluoridation in the water. I didn't know about any of that. And what's happened in these 5 years of my studying is that my pineal gland has opened. So I don't know how fully opened it is, but what I experience is like a tingling sensation in the middle of my forehead. And I experience often accompanying that tingling sensation is a knowing about things. And when I say a knowing, I'm talking about like, I can like think of things, and thinking is like when I take a concept that my mind knows and I take another concept that my mind knows and I merge those together and I come up with an outcome. That's thinking. Knowing is when I take a topic that I don't have knowledge about and I just know the truth about it. So I experience a lot of that knowing now, and I experience a lot of feeling around my crown chakra and in my third eye. And that's all new since I started drinking structured water. Now, I don't want to overstate the case for structured water and decalcifying the pineal gland from transforming fluoride. So I do want to acknowledge that during this process, I've done yoga, I've been mindful about my diet, I've had other practices that contributed to the process, but I do think the primary cause of the opening of my pineal gland has been the immersion of my life in structured water. I've also experienced similar stories from my customers. One of them sticks out in particular. This woman called me and she said, our first phone call, she said, Patrick, every time I've consumed fluoridated water in my lifetime, I've thrown up. And I just went to my naturopath's office and she offered me fluoridated water through one of your structured water devices. I was really skeptical and I didn't want to do it, but I decided to drink it and I didn't throw up. I couldn't believe it. And I'm calling you to purchase one of your devices. So if I had just seen my own third eye open up, then I wouldn't be sharing this with you. But having seen experiences like that customers and knowing other people whose third eyes have opened, I do want to share this experience with you. So I think most spiritual people who've studied fluoride are concerned that it calcifies the pineal gland. And I have the experience both personally and having observed others that the pineal gland can open up and that we can open our third eyes and we can have access to all that is. So with all of that said, let me now bring it home to you about what you might do with this information. So one, you might hear the resonance, the alignment in my speaking about fluoride being a frequency, and you just needed to hear someone articulate that to know that that's what's true for you. If that's what's true for you, then I highly recommend that from here forward, you only treat your water with physics. And that would be our Javara product line, like this beautiful device. It would be our Natural Action product line, and it would be our VitaJewel product line. All of those are physics-based technologies available on the wellnessenterprise.com for you to treat your water with physics. The huge advantage, if you choose one or more of those technologies to treat your water, is that they're designed to last. There's no replacement parts and there's no maintenance. If you caretake them, they will last indefinitely. So if you just want to transform your water and not be threatened by it and use physics, those three product lines, Javara, Natural Action, and VitaJewel are the way to go. Now, another way you might listen to this is, well, I'm aligned with that and I want that for myself. I don't want to leave the energy of fluoride in my water, but I'm going to feel a lot better if I also reduce or remove the fluoride as much as possible from the water. The disadvantage of that is that you'll need to purchase a chemistry-based filter. They are an ongoing expense, and you will have to have the time, energy, and resources to buy additional filters. Remember to do that and to have them placed into your filter. If you choose to do that, I have done a lot of research on the topic, and I recommend clicking on the link in the upper corner of the video, and that will take you to the best fluoride filter that I know about. And the lab tests for it show virtually, it's called non-detectable. So nearly 100% removal of fluoride. And so if you're going to spend money on removing it, I want you at least to know where to get a good one. I do have an affiliate relationship with that company, and there is a small compensation that I would receive if you buy one of those. So I do want you to know that. But I'm recommending you consider treating your fluoridated water just with physics. And if you want to treat it with chemistry also, the two sciences work in harmony together. There's no conflict with doing both the physics and the chemistry, and you're certainly welcome to do both if that's what speaks to you. So please let me know in the video below, in the comments below the video rather. Was this video helpful? Do you still have questions about fluoride? Did it answer your questions? Tell other people in the comments if it answered your questions, and tell me what you think about Sandy. Do you like having Sandy in the videos? I'd love to hear your thoughts about what I can do to serve you better and make our videos full of great content and of great service to you. Thank you for watching.